the absolute best Creed fragrances. Creed as a brand has always been known as one of those really high-class luxury fragrance brands. Used to be specifically all about fragrances for royalty and the aristocracy and that sort of thing. And only more recently have they made their fragrances available to the public. So, in general, very high quality fragrances, but which ones are the best? I've compiled a small list here, and I'm going to start with one that I think it's a little bit underrated, but I think it's really good, which is specifically this original Vetiver from Creed. Obviously, it's a Vetiver scent. I really like Vetiver. I think it's a nice kind of earthy, dried grass, a little bit woodsy type of scent. And I think this particular fragrance, the original Vetiver, I think it does it really well because usually Vetiver is kind of a background note. You'll find it in the base notes or the middle notes of many, many fragrances. But it'll be pretty faint. Again, it'll be more in the background just for some texture, some layering. This one from Creed puts the Vetiver at the center stage, which I think is a nice kind of unique take on the note, putting it in, right in the front. And it does have a very nice, again, earthy, yet woodsy, and yet grassy type of smell. So, not very strong, more of a subtle type of scent, but it's designed to be natural, more subtle, smooth, and more or less unisex. And it's just nice. Again, if you're looking for that type of natural type of scent, original Vetiver is really, really nice. Very unintrusive, very agreeable, kind of outgoing and friendly type of scent, and also extremely versatile. You could wear it anytime, anywhere, and you're good to go. Now, for something with a little bit more character and a little bit more strength, then I would say something along the lines of Creed Royal Oud here. This is a very nice one. This is it has the oud in it, obviously. It's going to give it a certain muskiness, but it has an earthiness to it as well. A little bit kind of like a distant smokiness. You got the earthiness, and then the oud, of course. Interestingly, even though this does have all those heavy notes in it, it's not extremely heavy. It's not going to give you a headache. It's not going to give other people headaches. It's actually a more toned down type of oud fragrance, mainly for those looking to wear something with oud and have that smell, but not going too crazy, because some oud fragrances go pretty crazy, pretty into the intense realm of things. But again, this is more of a subtle oud, a subtle woodsiness, but still being relatively strong. It's going to last a long time. And it does have a certain luxurious nature to it. You can kind of just smell it has that kind of wafting, smoldering, mysterious type of smell to it. So definitely nice if you like oud, or if you just in general like more musky, kind of woodsy types of notes. And fragrances that last a long time, because this will last quite a long time. Now, moving on to one that's pretty much a classic, which is, everyone knows about this, Aventus from Creed. So this, this is one of the first Creed fragrances that I heard of, at least for men especially. Creed Aventus, that's like the main top tier men's fragrance. And it is popular for a reason. It has some, it's one of those aromatic, very fresh types of fragrances, with the citrus notes and things like that. And then it comes in with some of the heavier, more woodsy notes. But in general, it's refreshing. It's a powerful, yet fresh men's cologne. It's pretty much associated, again, with like the top tier. This is the best thing a man can wear. Now, I kind of argue with that, but in general, it is a very, very good fragrance. It has that certain confidence, it has that longevity, it has that freshness and cleanliness, but also having some of those warmer base notes. Again, this is pretty much, if you're going to spend a lot of money on a fragrance, and you want it to be good, you might as well go for Creed Aventus because it is really good, it's well made, and it is very expensive. But again, if you're willing to spend that kind of money, Aventus is the way to go. And you can't really go too wrong with Creed, because they do put a lot of effort into their fragrances. Plus Aventus, I mean, it's that status symbol, you know. But if you do not want to do Creed Aventus, maybe maybe you're not a man, maybe you're a woman and you want a feminine fragrance, then Carina is another good one. This is, I mean, it actually shares some of the same notes as Creed Aventus, it's just on the more feminine side. Primarily you get some of the citrus notes, you get some of the florals, but then there's also some surprisingly heavy notes, like there's frankincense and, you know, some of those more resinous, more smoky types of notes. So it's actually not too crazy feminine. It has some of those nice bass notes that warm it up and ground it along the way. And for that reason, it's actually pretty long lasting. It's a very nice, very unique type of women's fragrance. And it lasts a long time because of that. You know, once you have some of those heavier notes thrown in, it's going to ground the fragrance and make it last much longer compared to fragrances that just have some of the lighter notes. So Carina is definitely a very nice woman's option here. But another classic option, if you're not into that, then I can't recommend enough Creed Green Irish Tweed. This is one of my favorites, perhaps my favorite from Creed. It is a men's fragrance, although I do like to say it's a pretty good unisex option, just because it's very natural smelling. This is primarily lemon verbena, has some violet, has some ambergris for a little bit of musk thrown in there. This is an 80s fragrance, but I think it's pretty classic, pretty timeless. It's primarily fresh. It has some of that grassiness from the lemon verbena. It's just really nice if you want something that smells like very natural, a bit like a garden, you know, or we're just walking through the trees. Very, very natural, subtle, but not, you know, it has good longevity for this type of light fragrance, about 5-ish hours, maybe 6. And it's just a good, versatile, all-around type of fragrance, you know, whether you're going to work or going out for the evening or whatever. This will pretty much cover all of your bases, so you don't really have to think about it or how you wear it. But yeah, definitely a very classic option here for Creed Green Irish Tweed, and you can't really go wrong with it. But that is pretty much my list of the best Creed fragrances that are out there, at least the ones that I'm currently aware of. I think these ones are very solid choices. They all smell very good. But that is pretty much my video. If you found it helpful, of course you can leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.